Gracias. Thank you for joining. Happy Saturday. Thank you guys for joining. How are you doing? How are you doing this great Saturday? Thank you. Welcome guys. Welcome guys. Let's like. We can also share with others. And if you are new to this platform, kindly let's subscribe. And guys, I'm going to appreciate guys. How are you doing this great Saturday guys? Thank you for joining with a lot of love. How are you doing guys? Welcome everyone. Let me know who has joined. And I'm going to appreciate guys. Thank you guys for the likes. How are you doing guys? Thank you guys for the likes. How are you doing guys? I don't know what this card. How are you doing, guys? Let me know who has joined. Let me know who has joined.
Mos jika vi emwe.
Yeah.
Ndeithia kanyu mukarega thimu gasta.
Thank you, guys. How are you doing this great Saturday? How are you doing this great Saturday? How are you doing this great Saturday, guys? Thank you guys for joining. There we go. Today being on a weekend, you know, we have a very simple topic. Very simple topic. Thank you for joining. Thank you for the vote. Thank you so much. Thank you for the vote. Our topic today, guys, is very simple. Is there need to embrace on global culture? Is there need for us to embrace on global culture? And in terms of our question today, or our poll today, in this technological era or age, do you embrace global culture? Let me know, guys, if you embrace global culture, yeah, and how you do it. And then, guys, I'm going to appreciate it. There we go. I think now everything is fine. So, guys, there we go. Do you embrace in this technological era? Do you embrace global culture? That's our topic, or that's our poll, and our topic is there need to embrace on global culture? So, guys, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts, guys, and I'm going to appreciate, guys. So, guys, fundamentally, when we talk about the global culture, this is actually what we call the shared values, the shared norms. So basically, when we talk about the global culture, this is where we are talking about, the shared global values, these are set of shared norms, the values, and the practices, that not only confines within our national borders, but they are mainly driven by globalization and technological advancement. That's the whole aspect of global culture. So global culture, it's generally generated, especially when we can be able to, when we are able to experience, technological changes, and when we are also able to see all the aspects of globalization. And therefore, guys, why is it important for us to embrace on global culture? For a very simple reason, or for a very simple reasoning, embracing on global culture, we are able basically to foster what we call the interconnectedness. We are able to promote global culture. Mainly is very, very fundamental, especially when it's fundamental as it makes us, to foster on interconnectedness. We are able to connect with different people from different culture, from other locations, from other nations, and in the process we are able to promote what we call the cross cultural understanding, which is very, very important. And in the process we are also able to share ideas, and this is very, very fundamental, especially during this age, during this technological age, where we are experiencing a lot of changes, within our global space. And I think one of the key, a good example of the key global kind of global culture, is the aspect that have really emerged in terms of the young people probably realizing as a way of ensuring that they protect their interests in terms of their governance and leadership. I think this one is becoming more of a global phenomenon, whereby young people across the globe, especially the Gen Zs, yeah, globally, they are really having a very simpler and a very similar kind of a trend, whereby they are calling for good governance, whereby they are calling for accountability, whereby they are calling for all those traits, all those good traits. And I think it has really been driven by what we may say as technology. The reason why I can say that technological advancement has really led to the sprang and to the real definition of the Gen Zs in terms of them being part and parcel of the change that they find to be very fundamental within their nations, is because what they are doing, it's kind of a global thing. You find the Gen Zs, they are in Kenya. You find the Gen Zs, they are in Madagascar. You find the Gen Zs, they are in France. And all of them, you find that they have the same kind of a course. They have the general cause, or they have the same similar traits in terms of how they behave, especially when they are calling for good governance and accountability. And that's a form of, global culture, which is very fundamental. And in the process, they are able now to change on what they believe it's the best fit for them and the best fit for their nations. It's always driven by the technological changes. I have also seen that technological changes has been very vocal in terms of adjusting, the way that we have been feeling, the way we have been behaving, the way we have been interacting. And each and every time I have seen very new and dynamic form of global social media spaces, imagine each and every day. And the goal is very simple. It's all about ensuring that we share some of the key common behaviors. There are some platforms that you just join, and they are just purely for entertainment. And that's a kind of a shared idea. If your interest is all about entertainment, there are some of the key applications, some of the key technological, some of the key technological social media spaces that are really emerging, and they are really meant for us to ensure that we share the common ideas, which is very important. Another issue is all about us embracing what we are calling the global culture, in terms of raising concerns about the potential local traditions. We have been having a lot of local traditions, the way of thinking, but due to the revolution that have been really triggered by technological advancement, we are able now to change some of the key thinkings that we really had before. One of the key ways, or a good example in how we have been able to think and alter the entire aspect of the local thinking, or the traditional thinking, it's all about the aspect maybe of religion. I have met very diverse ideas across various social media spaces, with people always saying, what, we need to look at maybe religion from this angle. We need also to alter our mind in terms of how we feel, maybe about the politics, about how we feel, maybe our social issues, and in the process, you just find that we have a meeting point in how now we are able to understand that I think, I think we need to change this. I think we need to alter that for us to have a better understanding of how some of the key issues have been operating at the global level. So technology has been very, very fundamental in ensuring that we keep on altering our thinking in how we have been doing things at the global level. So why is it fundamental or vital for us to appreciate on global culture? One, as we have said, that it has given us a platform of ensuring that we share our values and norms. This is where now we are really becoming very, very diverse in terms of sharing our values and norms, our beliefs, we always involve, we always find ourselves immersed in in having new ideas, beliefs and behaviors in the context of interacting with what you are calling the global culture, which is very, very important. The other aspect is all about the interconnectedness. This is also very, very important when we talk about the global culture, in such a way that we are able, to connect with different people from different parts of the world. And we are able to learn their style of doing things, how they embrace on technology, how they embrace on issues of travel, how they embrace on issues of interconnectedness. And in the process, this one remains to be very, very fundamental. So interconnectedness is also very, very important, especially when we talk about the global culture. So global culture comes with a lot of interconnectedness in terms of how maybe we view issues of fashion, because fashion, I think it's a global thing. In terms of how maybe we view issues such as popular music, because music, I think it's kind of common idea on how we share music, on how we share maybe the issues of sports and so many other global things. So why is it important for us to appreciate the essence of the essence of global culture? One, it does promote what we call understanding. It gives us the essence of understanding as well as promoting what we call, because tolerance at the end of the day is very, very, very important. So it gives us the understanding and tolerance, and in the process, I think we are able to to nullify or even to reduce what we say about our biases, especially when we talk about the global issues. And in the process, what I really love is all about accepting the aspect of diversity, because diversity, it's a very, very critical thing, especially when we really want to foster and to appreciate other cultures. One of the key ways, I think a good example on how we promote tolerance and understanding is the issue of the global leaders maybe coming together. I have seen them on several occasions really trying to talk about the global issue, about the global warming. And this has really been promoted by what we are having today about the global culture, because when we really talk about the global warming, this is an aspect that is really, really affecting each and every nation. And so for us to have that common form of understanding and tolerance, this is where now all the global leaders, they just come together and accept, we are going to talk about this issue, and we are going to promote what we call the diverse mindset or ideas, as a way of ensuring that we promote, a global culture, whereby maybe we can be able to reduce the aspect of global warming. Poa sana. And a very good example is what we used to call the Kyoto 2030. This is a kind of environmental program where global leaders met, and they really talked about on ways on how they really want the global, because nowadays we really view the world as the global village, because of the interconnectedness that has been brought by what we are calling the technology. So the readers really came together, and they really saw that it was important for them to discuss on how they can be able to reduce the environmental, implications. And this was through bringing out of ideas on the key measures that each and every company, each and every nation should implement as a way of reducing what we are calling the global warming. And one of the key ways I find them very, very important, and which is something that is really changing at a very fast rate, was all about embracing on maybe the electric vehicles and the EV, the electric vehicles, in the process of trying to reduce on the use of the fossil fuels, because fossil fuels, especially when we talk about them, they really generate a lot of carbon. And all I hope you guys you understand that the more we generate a lot of carbon into our atmosphere, the higher the rate of depletion of what we call the ozone layer. And in the process, we expand the rate of global warming. And so as a way of reducing the rate of global warming, one of the key proposal was all about the nations, to focus on promoting what we call the eco-efficiency, the eco-efficiency products. And one of the key eco-efficiency product was all about the promotion of the EVs, or the electric motor vehicles, which I can see them in my country. I think they are increasing each and every day. And the good thing, it's not all about the motor vehicle. I have even seen a lot of motorbike that are eco-efficient. They are all about electric. All you have to do is just charge them using an electric, charge them, but you just charge them using electricity, and then from there now they can be able to give you the service. So electric vehicles are increasing, and this has really been promoted by what we are calling the global culture. So the global culture is really fostering and really moving into ensuring that we have what we call the common practices that are really meant to ensure that we reduce on what we are calling the global warming, which is very important. At the practical level, I think this is very important, because it always ensure that we live in a more better world. The other issue why it's very important for us to keep on embracing and considering what we are calling the global culture is all about the sharing of ideas. This is for the provision of rapid exchange of knowledge, innovations, as well as the positive ideas across the world. I know, very true, because especially when we talk about innovations, I think I think this is something that have been really embraced by the modern leaders in terms of innovations, and that's the reason why I believe that one of the key aspect that is, or one of the key industry that is really growing very faster rate is all about the technology companies, the tech companies, because one, innovations, tech companies has been linked with a lot of innovations. It's just crazy on how you just wake up each and every day, and you just find that, and we have a new feature, or we have a new maybe online application, kind of what can I call, online maybe social media platform that is meant for the users, you see, because all we are doing, it's all about enhancing our knowledge, or is all about creating innovations as well as positive ideas across the world. And technology, I think it's the fastest, and it is the fastest growing industry, especially when we talk about the aspect of innovation. Similarly, as we said, in the automobile industry, we are really moving faster, especially when now we can be able to see that we are shifting from the fuel-based vehicles to what we are calling the electric fuel, to electric vehicles, to EV, to electric motor vehicles. And in the process, I think that's a form of innovation, and it has all been promoted by what we are calling the global culture. In terms of diversity as efficiency, this is also spreading as a result of global diversity or global culture, in the sense that our economies are growing across. Each and every economy is growing, and this is all driven by global, by the global culture. And one of the key aspects that I really love about the global culture is the technological advancement, especially when we talk about the aspect of e-commerce. For those that really do business, I think one of the key fields that have really increased or have really enhanced is all about the e-commerce. This is where maybe you are able to do your business with someone who is so many miles away, and at the end of the day, because of that essence of understanding, having the common purpose in terms of doing trade and business, you just find that things are just working perfectly. I think e-commerce has really worked for so many people in this age, and it has all been promoted by what we are calling the global culture. So global culture is also very important, especially when we talk about the essence of global trade. Another thing that have really reminded me about the importance of the global culture is all about the sharing of identity. This is where we are really sharing what we call the human experience, and we can also be able to create what we call an identity. We can be able to have that form of an identity, which is very powerful, alongside the identity that we have been having at the local or at the national level. Like I said before, I think one of the key identity that we have really experienced is all about the booming of the Gen Zs. Everywhere you go, nowadays you are just asked, are you a Gen Z or you are millennial? You see. And the reason why they are doing that is because they have been a kind of a revolution, a kind of a change that have really enhance the element of ensuring that people have that quite common identity. So when you talk about maybe about the Gen Z, you are able now to understand if these Gen Zs have the common purpose of doing things, which is very important. Also, that one is also very important, because for instance, if you go to China, if you go to India, if you go to Bangladesh, if you come to Kenya, if you go to Tanzania, and all of a sudden, let's say maybe you talk about the Gen Zs, they have that kind of a common identity, so alongside from what they have been known, there is that kind of global kind of an identity that they have been linked with them, which is very important. So in that essence, they really have what we call the common shared experience. That one is also very important in the essence of understanding why there is need for us to embrace on what we are calling the global culture. So as we said, global culture is also embracing it is very key, because one, it give us the essence of that space of ensuring that we communicate in an efficient manner, and this one is always driven by the technology that we are having at the end of the day. It also gives us the essence of being empathetic, as well as driving innovation. Communication, I agree, global culture in terms of how we are using different social media spaces. I think we have been able to embrace a lot of, a lot of issues, a lot of global issues about how we view things, and we are also able to communicate with others to understand their views on how global issues should be taken. A very, very instrumental thing that has really sharpened us, unlike before. So it's also very, very important, especially when we want to create empathy. This is where we really want to foster on empathy, and for us to have what we call a deeper understanding about other cultures, about their perspectives, about how about how we can be able to reduce prejudice, and about how we can be able to foster on what we call the stronger relationship. And I think this one is very, very key, and it's spreading at a very higher rate. For instance, today I saw from the news a guy who was being deported. That guy was, he was a Kenyan, and he was being deported from the US. Poa. He was being deported from the US back to his homeland in Kenya, and this guy had married a Mzungu, or a white lady, and in the process, it all, people didn't, you could see how the kids of this man were really, really feeling, especially when they saw their father being harassed by the police. And in the process, you could see people pouring emotions, about how the entire process was hurting. And this one shows that we are having what we call the global empathy. Imagine if that happened when that guy was not in the US, or maybe it happened, especially when that guy, especially during that age when we didn't have technology. I think things would have been very different, because it could have been seen as if it's just a normal thing. But now that thing is spreading so much in such a way that even other people from other different nations are really, really pouring out, their sentiment about the entire process, how the entire process is maybe love, how the entire process is based on harassment.
Thank you, Sana.
Okay. So empathy, global empathy is there. And when I saw that case, that guy being harassed, because I think the police, the US police really wanted to deport that guy. You could, I could see, I could see a lot of sentiment, very, very positive sentiment, with people saying, the entire process is really harassing, the people that maybe that are of a different color. And in the process, all I could see was all about the empathy, people tending to bring out their empathy. And in the process, people have really what we call a stronger relationship. They can be able to speak in one language, which is very, very, very key. So in terms of global, embracing on global culture, we are also able to enhance on what we are calling the empathy, because empathy is very, very important, which is very, very key. The other issue is all about if in the context of in the context of embracing on global culture, we are also able to come with better solutions. I remember when Israel was fighting with Gaza, because I have been following a lot of global news. I saw a lot of sentiment, people tending to say, you need to stop this fight, because of the humanity aspect part of life. And I saw even global leaders, because of the sentiment that people are really, really projecting, they were able to intervene in the entire process. And it reached even to a point this year when the global leaders, they had a summit in the US. because the global, because some of the key leaders, such as Netanyahu, who is now the president for Israel, didn't listen to what people have been saying, that we really need to embrace on ensuring that we embrace on humanity. Even the other presidents didn't even have that. They didn't even want to listen to him. You know, that was a form of a clip that was circulating online. You could see when Netanyahu was given a chance to speak, almost all the presidents, they walked away because they really wanted to solve this kind of a complex, issue of ensuring that peace and stability prevailed even in the Middle East nations. And I think Netanyahu, after seeing that, he had to react. And today, even though the fight is there, it's on very low scale. That's the essence of ensuring that we embrace on global culture as a way of ensuring that we bring sanity and we bring back humanity, which is very important to ensuring that humanity still continues in terms of ensuring that everyone is safe at their own place. The other issue is all about the career opportunities. The moment we keep on embracing what we are calling the global culture, career opportunities, they just sprang. Today, as we speak, I have seen so many guys, adapting to what they call online jobs. I think I'm one. I think almost every young person is, what can I say? Almost every person can feel the effect, the positive effect in terms of careers, opportunities when it comes to the issue of global culture. I know of so many guys that are really, flourishing through doing what we call the online tasks. Others are doing what we are calling the forex. Forex. There are others that are doing what we call the cryptocurrency. There are also that are also doing what we call the online financials. There are also that are, a lot of business opportunities over years as technology keep on advancing. Those opportunities are being realized each and every day. And even the social media platform, like the one that we are using now, like the YouTube and the Facebook and maybe the TikTok, they have also revolutionized, or they have also been created during this era, where we are talking about global culture. And in the process they have realized, what, for us to keep on growing, we have to provide platform for our people, for them to grow and develop. And YouTube, I think it's one of the key platforms whereby, at some point someone is able to monetize, and in the process of monetization, that's an opportunity, because initially, before we really had what we are calling the global culture, we didn't even have that type of opportunities. They were very rare. But nowadays, you go, because I'm a frequent user of TikTok. Okay, because I'm a frequent user of TikTok, I have always seen people, so I have seen a lot of people, earning from TikTok, people going live, people being gifted. This has all been created by what we are calling the global culture. The moment we embrace it, the moment we understand it on how it works, then it keeps on ensuring that we keep on earning from it. And I think if we keep on doing that, because each and every day there are so many online applications that are really coming up, and all of them, if you look from that positive kind of a lens, you always find that they are really meant for you, maybe to have an opportunity where maybe you can be able to grow, where maybe you can be able to grow and progress in life in terms of your career opportunity. For instance, I have also seen so many what they call software developers working online, and this is a thing that has all been propelled by what we are calling the global culture. The other issue or the other point why we should embrace on global culture is all about the personal growth. Personal growth. I think the more we engage in what we are calling the global culture, the more we are able to broaden our perspective, the more we are able to broaden our worldview about different issues, and in the process, we are even able to understand on how we can be able, to tackle some of the key complex issues that are emerging each and every day in our societies. So in terms of personal growth, I think the more we keep on engaging with different people, with different mindset, with from different cultures, with different mentality, with different worldview, we are also able to have what we call the diverse opinions. The diverse worldview issues, which I believe is very, very important. And this one has always been brought by what we are calling the global culture. So global culture is also very, very key, especially if you really want to grow as an individual in terms of your worldview, in terms of how you adapt to different issues, and in terms of how maybe you really want to understand yourself. For instance, each and every time I have a friend who is called Mr. Mange, and this great friend of mine, each and every time, because he really focuses on very different topics. He could Each and every time we meet, he really gives me a lot of different views of how people maybe are viewing the AI, how maybe different people are viewing what we call maybe the aliens, those complex topics. And I really love it. And it has all been opened up because of what we are calling the technological advancement. You can read the comment from people, maybe about the AI, maybe about the next level in terms of technological advancement. And in the process, I have really grown in terms of understanding the entire thing, which is very important. So in terms of how to embrace on global culture, there are various ways in which we should or we can embrace on what we are calling the global culture. For us to to have the first hand kind of an experience, there are those people that really opt to travel. There are those people that are really up to travel, and I think in terms of traveling, I think YouTube have really done a lot of, so many YouTubers have really done a lot of traveling, and in the process they have gained what we are calling the global culture, or what the global perspective. There are those that maybe they go to study. You can also study abroad, and like for us, we always immerse ourselves in what we call the technology. Immersing ourselves in technology, I think it has also helped us in terms of having a taste of what it means when it comes to the issue of global culture. The other issue is all about there are those that also opt to learn about the various about the various culture, and there are various ways in which they learn it, and some of the key ways, it's like watching the documentary. There are those that really, I think I'm one of them. I'm one of those guys that really watch a lot of documentaries. For instance, I really love watching about the documentaries of other nations' load and infrastructure. I think I am among the highest consumers of understanding how roads and infrastructures in other nations, how they really operate. And in the process, via watching a lot of documentaries, I have been able to appreciate even my nation have even better road infrastructures compared to some of the nations that initially maybe I really thought, in quotes, they had better and improved form of infrastructure. And therefore, that now has debunked, it has really moved a lot of my initial beliefs, traditions, as well as what I really thought about those nations. The other nations that we always, just because maybe their name has been mentioned, we just see them maybe from a different perspective. But maybe when we watch some documentaries about those nations, you just have a different opinion, and you just have a different maybe view about their entirety on how they operate. So watching documentaries or learning about other culture, I think that's one of the key things that I have really embraced. The other way we can embrace on global culture, it's through practice of what we call humility, cultural humility. And they always say that when you have cultural humility, this is where you are able to interact with an attitude of being a learner, and you prioritize on the lived experiences and expertise for others over our own assumptions. Just like what I have just said, that the moment I watch a lot of documentaries, I'm able now to learn, about those people, about their values, about the things they treasure the most, and I'm able to remove what we call biases and assumptions. Because at the end of the day, as I say, if someone just says a certain nation, and maybe you are not able to understand about the operation of that nation, we always have what we call a lot of speculations, a lot of speculations, a lot of speculations, as well as biases and assumptions about them. And in the process, we just find ourselves that maybe we are not in the process, when maybe we read about them, when we learn about them, maybe via the documentary, we just find that things are very, very different from what we really thought it was. And I think this is what has really, really shifted, especially in our countries, especially when we talk about governance and leadership, because each and every day, uh, there are those nations that because maybe you just hear they have resources, maybe you just hear that maybe they have good governance styles, maybe they are ahead of you. But in the process, maybe when you learn about the entire thing, you just even find that maybe you're in a better position. So it's always very, very important for us uh, to keep on having what we are calling the cultural humility. The cultural humility is very, very, very important. The other thing that we can do as a way of as a way of embracing on what we are calling the global culture is all about being open-minded. Yeah, I think this is where we should always always be open to new ideas and new and unfamiliar ideas, and in the process we learn a lot. That's the good thing about the entire thing. In the process we learn a lot, which is very, very important. So thank you guys. I think I'm going to stop at that point, but as always, thank you guys for the love and support. I think now we can be able to conceptualize or to understand global culture from a very, very deep point of view. This is where maybe we are able to appreciate on how things happen, on how we should be able to embrace, maybe to learn about other culture, on how we should be able to practice on cultural humility, maybe being open, being open-minded, taking, seizing or, seizing or being open to any new career opportunities that are really, really emerging as a result of globalization, or what we are calling the global culture, as well as ensuring that, we keep on embracing, the passion for innovation and fostering on empathy as a result as a result of embracing global culture. So global culture is very, very important, and it's very, very fundamental for the growth of any nation and for the growth of any individual. So guys, thank you. Let's meet tomorrow, same place, same time. May God bless you guys, and thank you so much guys. I'm going to end there. As always guys, let's meet tomorrow, same place, same time, and may God bless you.